I read 11 books in September, so let's talk about whether I would recommend these books or not. We have a lot of hits, but also a lot of misses, and I've got some hot takes in here, so you might want to stay tuned. And I listened to Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I absolutely love Lisa Jewell. If I am in a mood for a good, fast-paced mystery thriller, this is the one. And then I read Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Poppy War Trilogy by R.F. Kuang is like my second favorite series of all time. Didn't really care for Catabasis. This type of writing is just not for me. I understand why a lot of people love it. Like, she goes off on a lot of tangents, and it goes into a lot of detail about logic and math. That's just not my area of interest. The style that it's written in is just not for me. And then I listened to Too Old for This on audio, and I absolutely loved this one. I thought this one was so fun and so unique. Ending was a little anticlimactic for me, but I enjoyed the rest of the book. I would highly recommend this one. And then I finally read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, you guys. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I know. I was conflicted for so long whether I was going to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy before reading this one, and I ultimately decided to skip on that and just jump straight into Six of Crows. I just don't hear that many great things about the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and people say you really don't need to read it to understand this book. I was so confused for the first, I don't even remember how long, but I was very confused for a while. Okay, the way the book opens up and starts, it assumes you already know what's going on, which is fair because it takes place in the same universe. That's just not me, right? I will say it is very fast-paced, non-stop, action-packed. I can understand why everybody loves this. I just personally wish I had read the Shadow and Bone trilogy before. Needed a little palate cleanser after that, so I read Spellcaster by Jim and Eve. The writing in this, I would compare it to Zodiac Academy. Do not expect anything fluffy, flowery, beautiful prose. No. This is just very much copy-paste romantasy. There is nothing unique about this book. The part that really irked me in this was the main character and a side character were talking about fae smut books. It's like, oh my god, the next book in the series isn't out yet, blah, 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 fairy smut. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I like my fairy smut books once in a while, but do my main characters in a fantasy world need to be reading that? No. And then I read The Jasad Heir. I gave this one 3.5 stars. It was good. Didn't love it. Can't exactly pinpoint it, but something about this book just felt a little messy. I just didn't quite understand the magic system. I couldn't visualize anything that was happening. Enjoyed the politics, the world building. I enjoyed that. There are trials in here, but I didn't quite understand that either. It just didn't quite click in my head. So I don't know, just something about this book didn't hit the way I thought it would. And then I read We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. This is what the final cover will look like. I absolutely loved this. The madness continues. Get a little bit more backstory on the bunnies and what happened, why these things happen. I absolutely loved it. If you liked Bunny, I think you will like this one. And then I listened to Night Watcher on audio. This one was just okay to me. I really liked how it started. It was really creepy and eerie. I thought it was going to be a really scary book. It really wasn't that scary. It was a good mystery book. I would not really call this a horror book though. Just went into it thinking it was something that it's not. And then I listened to When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This is definitely my favorite horror book that I read this year. The best horror book that I've read in a long time. It was so unique. Audiobook was fantastic. Pacing in this was amazing. This is not super extreme horror, so I think any thriller reader would enjoy this. And then I listened to So Happy Together. The main characters in this book drove me nuts. This is an adult thriller, but it felt very YA because of how the main characters were acting. It just felt so immature to me. I couldn't stand them. It was predictable and annoying and just no. And lastly, I'm currently listening to Penance by Kanai Minato. I will be done with it by the time this is uploaded. Really interesting. It's very dark. I don't really know where the story is going, but I'm enjoying it. When I finish it, I will have my thoughts up on Goodreads.